following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
As we move to the sand hills of North Carolina, and we get you ready for round number 5 tonight of the Sim500 NCAA11.org Cup Series. We are live here from Rockingham Speedway, North Carolina Motor Speedway, whatever you know it as from its present and past. That is where we race tonight, around this 1.017 mile oval here in Sim500 and the Next Gen Cars, another race where you kind of get to see what it would look like if a next-gen car ran a cup race here at the Rock in this town that was home of Benny Parsons, one of the great drivers of the 1970s and 80s who we lost way too soon. But tonight, we're going to see if we can continue our streak of shocking winners, as I say that because you go back to Mike Kelly at Daytona, Las Vegas, Cal and Tony pulling the upset off. You go to last week at Bristol, Brian Macklin, after a little argy-bargy between Donnie Leah and Justin Fuller. Those two get together, and so on and so forth. So tonight, Rockingham, 1 mile, bumpy track, worn-out surface. What are we going to see tonight? Mr. Kevin England, who, by the way, joins me, the captain, in the booth.
Yeah, bump, bump, bump. This old surface is worn out. Turn 3 and 4 is more like a bobsled track than a speedway. And I think with 41 cars circling this racetrack, we're going to see a rather interesting mix. This track is known for tight corner, especially at a turn number 2, but also known for long green flag runs and tire wear. These guys are going to move all over the racetrack here tonight looking for grip. And we're going to see an outstanding race at Rockingham.
It is going to be a good one coming up here in just a few moments, but right now we're going to get you ready for the Pole Award, which, of course, presented by 811. Know it's below and call before you dig. Of course, the fastest cars are going to start up front, and might not be necessarily speed that gets you to victory lane here tonight. Might be tire preservation, and with 41 cars, Kev, this could get very tricky out here because we're going to be amongst traffic a majority of this race.
Yeah, so much of this racetrack is about how to get through the corner and get off of the corner to the straightaway and trying to navigate the bumps, trying to figure out how to get out of tricky turn 2. And, you know, these drivers, they're looking for the marks on the outside of the wall of when to turn in, when to apply the brake, how much brake, what groove they're going to do. And, you know, I heard drivers talking in practice about the fact that you don't drive the racetrack drives you, so to speak.
Right.
You go in, you take whatever you can until you take a set, and then you pick up the throttle, and every lap you drive it differently. There's really no rhyme or reason as to how you could be consistent here.
Had a couple drivers say that Kevin King might be the guy to watch here for qualifying, so let's see what he can do. Right now it's Rivera with a 24.054 second lap on the pole. Robert Friery second, Mitten third, as Gonzalez gets the first lap in the 23.98, as I think you're going to see some of these cars maybe do a throwaway lap before they get to the second lap, getting those tires up to temp. Wesley Donaldson in 91.
Yeah, Donaldson right now out front with a 909, and a lot of these drivers talked about whether they could get down in that 23 second bracket. We expect to see our friend Tyler Dalton get there, but Mike Kelly, a 23.863 right now on top of the stack.
You mentioned Tyler Dalton. He is on the track for 200 career pole awards in the series. He's at 194 right now as Kelly's on the pole. Dalton ends up third right now in the charts, 23.90. So he's going to fall just short of that. Kelly's still on the pole looking for Kevin King, and he has not ran a lap yet. He is, a matter of fact, going to be crossing the start-finish line here in just a moment to start his qualifying run. We'll watch this 29 car get up to temp, run up there against the boards. And let's see what he does here as he crosses the line at RevGrips.com car.
Running through the center racetrack, nice and smooth out of turn number 2, cuts it down, rides right out to the outside fence, down Thunder Alley, turns the car down in at the gate, and he's going to run a high line here on this lap.
Probably more of a throwaway here. He's probably going to run the bottom unless that's his actual groove he feels comfortable running, as this first lap will tell us everything we need to know. He's P10 right now on his first lap, 24.06 after lap 1.
A little tighter down to the yellow line, uses all the racetrack on the exit. Turn in at the crossover gate here, down to the yellow line, carves it. You got to be really careful through these bumps as you pick up the throttle. Lets the car run right out to where the safer barrier ends, and he's going to turn it down at the stripe, and he's going to park it P1.
P1, 23.809 on the pole, and need I say, nowhere close to the track record on the Cup side here for Sim500. The track record, believe it or not, at the Rock, Josh Williams, 22.5. Well off. That's a second and a half almost. But congratulations to Kevin King. Looks like he is going to get the pole here, unless Comstock or Cody Giles. You know what? Let's watch these couple cars here real quickly, as we got about a minute, so they should be able to get back to the start-finish line. But a big shout-out to 811. Know it's below, call before you dig. Of course, the sponsors of the series here is Cody Giles, who had probably his worst race last week, lost a little bit of points there at Bristol, but otherwise has been consistent and has shown that he might be somebody to contend with when it comes to the championship here.
Well, you couldn't put a piece of paper between that number 5 and the outside wall, and he's made a good showing of himself. Only 14 points back from Kevin King in the championship. A little sideways out of turn number 4. That's going to scrub off a little speed, and he's going to slot in right about the 8th position there for the RaceEPI.com Camaro.
Yep, P8 for him. Let's see what David Comstock can do as he's on track now. He'll be the last car. Well, no, Jimmy Coleman's out there too. The last 2 cars to get a lap in here. Well, never mind. Comstock's not going to make it. That's why he's wrecking himself right now. So congratulations to Kevin King on the pole, and let's go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
right, great job on the national anthem as always. Appreciate the viewers watching here this evening. The Sim500 NC811.org Cup Series here from the Rock as we get ready to get the green flag. But first, let's meet the drivers in the starting lineup here tonight. And on the pole award, presented by 811, Kevin King, 23.809, the pole sitter in the points leader. Starting P1, Mike Kelly, who has had a great start to his season so far. Has hit a little bad luck here and there, but he's been pretty competitive. He starts there on the outside of row 1. Row 2, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Tyler Dalton, Wesley Donaldson, Justin Fuller there, row 3. Row 4, that is where you see Jose Speedy Gonzalez and Cody Giles as he continues to put that AWG car up front weekly and see if he can compete up there. First win in the series. Robert Fryery the third and Mike Montesi in row 5. Row 6, Nelson Rivera and Charles Van Schaik. Kevin DeBrown, Scott Simley, row 7. Row 8, Joey Jatina, Jose Funky Cole Medina. Anthony Calantoni, Bobby Wetzel, Eric Arnold, Stoney Benfield there in row 10. Glenn Campbell, Kevin Stone in row 11. Joe Hudson, Rod Mitten there in row number 12. Row 13, Brian Wortman, Scott Stenzel, Justin Mons looking to get his season on track. Alongside David Comstock, there's your Bristol winner, Brian Macklin and Chad Coleman. Richard Beasley, Ron Holyfield, row 16. And then the guys that did not get a lap down, Josh Parker, Joey Stone, Patrick Colby, Jimmy Coleman, who just fell up short of running a lap there. Nick Jobs, Matt Ronalasso, Randy Oakham, Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston, the 41 cars that'll take the grid 160 laps, a little over 160 miles because it's a 1.017 mile track. iRacing default weather. They got 3 bonus sets in the pits and 2 overtimes if it is needed here at the Rock as King and Kelly bring them through turn number 4. Pace car is going to hang a left right here as we come to the green flag. It's race 5 of the Cup Series, about to go green from Rockingham, North Carolina. Here we go. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. And one of the things I caught at the beginning of practice as I was watching it, as I got done recording the podcast, was the center speeds that these next-gen cars are using through the corners here. As one car, Fuller, gets free, had to go save her a little bit there through 3 and 4, but the speeds, especially of 1 and 2, are a lot higher than we're used to.
Yes, on the 22 sideways, we know if you pick up the throttle down low, out of turn 3 and 4, as you're going through that bobsled pump, man, I'll tell you, it's a handful there. Is the 22 Nelson Rivera sideways out of 4 is Kevin King's going to pick up the lead and carry him through turn number 1 is where they charge in as King leads the first 2 laps. Settled in right behind him is Mike Kelly, Tyler Dalton, Mark Jorgensen Jr., and Cody Giles, and I think they're going to get single file here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of cars dancing off the corners, as you mentioned there, Kevin, and not to mention, yeah, the single file line is, they're going to let these tires wear in a little bit because then eventually you are going to see these cars spread out like you saw at Bristol and amongst other places where you get an old surface like this that wears out really quickly on the tires. You remember, you are in the sand hills of North Carolina right here, so the sand gets on the surface, and it's like the old 80 grit sandpaper. When these tires are running across it, it just scrapes it off. Look at these cars getting sideways there through 3 and 4.
Yep, I know. I think everybody is just being patient. They're giving a little space out front, looking in the mirror every time they come up off the corner to check where the car is, either alongside or behind them. And I think there's one motivation we see every race. That's Tyler Dalton. He wants to lead a lap here. He is pressing hard to the outside of Kevin King.
Yeah, he's trying to get that run top side, not able to do so yet. But you look at Kelly here behind him and Mark Jorgensen, as you mentioned, that 88 car. And there's Giles up to the 5th position already. He and Fuller 5th, 6th, and 7th there to the Dolphins mobile of Jose Gonzalez. 2, 3, and 4 you see back here side by side. That is Mike Montesi in that 4 car inside of Wesley Donaldson as he makes the pass here for the 7th spot. 7 laps already in the books here. Laps are going to fly by. This is a very fast 1 mile track. They used to run 500 miles back in the day here, by the way, in a Cup car.
Where are you out? Oh, with Kyle Petty.
Oh, here we go. Dalton to the outside for the lead. Yeah, Kyle Petty was really good here, actually. There was something about Rockingham.
Get loose out of turn 2. Went up, smacked the outside wall. drivers need to be careful and make sure they don't break the toe lane on this racetrack.
Tyler trying to get that top side to work out for him.
Pitches a little as he's trying to use as much racetrack. Not to squeeze Tyler, but you need it out of turn 2. Really abrupt corner coming out. That outside wall comes up really quickly as one car sideways right behind them down on the apron.
Looking for it. Trying to see what it was. Yeah, I didn't see it. Unfortunately, there.
The 88, the Ferguson. He went for a long slide out of turn 4 down to the apron, captured it, went from 3rd to 5th as they're side by side behind Dalton for that 3rd position.
Yeah, obviously great racing here to get started. And what is going to be a good night of racing here on the Captain Esports Network with Kevin King right now at that 1/10 of a second lead as Tyler continues to approach that top side here as he gets a run through 3 and 4, which, man, that takes a lot of you-know-what to get through that corner side by side. Oh, a little door bang in there as Kevin tries to, yeah, I think he was trying to just widen the apex into the corner there and not necessarily, like you said, push Tyler into the wall, but more just get the widest apex possible into the corner as Tyler crosses over to the inside, sees some smoke in turn 1. We're back to single file, and look at this top 8, 9 cars right there to pack together with each other.
17 off the speedway here is Kevin Stone going to pit road early on.
See a little bit of nose damage. Was it Kevin, I wonder?
Commentary from the 81 radio. Not sure if they had a little something going on there, but Kevin Stone, it looks like he got into the outside wall with a little bit of help. Yeah, 3 wide. The 81 came underneath the 28. All 3 of them packed into the outside wall in turn number 4 with the 17 taking the biggest hit.
Not a good thing there. When that is all said and done, you mentioned the 81, that being of... Where's 81? Josh Parker. I should know that by now. You would think. Let's go back here. Kevin DeBrown, Nelson Rivera, the 24 of Medina there, that black and gold or yellow, whatever color you want to call that there. Battling here for the 13th position. Yeah, right. I'm going to say that's the old Bumblebee car there for Kev.
Good early run here for Charles Van Schaik, sitting there solidly in the 10th position. And this is the type of racetrack, Chris, where every once in a while you say, where did that purchasing come from? It really lends itself to somebody who's smooth on the gas and smooth on the brake, finds the right braking point, can save the tires along the long run. You'll see somebody run in the top 10 for 10, 15, 20 laps, and all of a sudden they fall like a stone where somebody else will just run it all the way through. You see Van Schaik go out and hit the outside wall.
Don't do that.
Turn number 2. It's so easy to do.
It is. Very easy to do, especially off turn 2, especially if you're not in the bottom lane. That's why I was really surprised when Tyler made that move on the top side. I'm like, man, that's gutsy. But he made it work out here as 16 laps complete, continuing this battle with Medina and Rivera as they don't want to give it up. And now Tyler Dalton's actually going to lose second, so you wonder if he burned good off of those Goodyear tires.
I think he probably just said, you know what, I'm going to kill this long run, and this place is known for long runs. I saw forward, sideways, off of turn number 2, and sideways again, turning the car down from the top lane. There was smoke off the right rear last time he came through, but he is smoking it right now as he draws to the back bumper for 3rd. Looking to the outside for Tyler Dalton, trying to see if he can get the run and come into the podium spot.
18 laps in the books next time by. Appreciate the viewers watching us here tonight. If you're checking us out on Facebook, on the Sim500 Facebook or the Captain Esports Network, appreciate you guys joining us. Of course, Mr. Jason Atomic Burrito watching the race here and helping Kev out, or Kev, listen to me, probably helping you out, yeah. Helping Wesley Donaldson up there in the booth there, potentially spotting. You see Kip Cook, who's cheering on the faster pastor, who runs in the 25th position right now. And of course, Miss Weeks cheering on the Ancient World Gaming Group as a couple of their cars run in the field. Cody Giles right now 7th, the best of the field. So appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you share the link out to some people and get some people out here watching the broadcast, and hopefully enjoy your Monday night here as we're racing hard.
tell you the driver's had a handful since the drop of the green flag. He's now slipping there, and he was loose off of turn number 2 last time. The car just looked like it didn't take a set through the middle of the corner, went down, clipped that apron on the left side, turned the car sideways. And you got to be really careful on the exit of turn 2 that you don't hit the apron there. It'll shoot you across to that outside wall quick, fast, and in a hurry.
This will be the 4th time that this series has ran at the Rockingham Speedway. Of course, the first time, you got to go all the way back to the old Monday Night Money of Sim500. That was June of 2017. Larry Pace going to victory lane in that race that featured, oh, caution! Joey Jattina gets turned here with the 92. Oh, no caution, never mind. They stayed green. I thought it went yellow. Maybe that's because Joey's car's yellow and it flashed across my screen. But either way, Joey was just half sideways over here in turn 2 and got it straightened back out. As we stay green, that was ugly.
Yeah, he got into the outside wall and it slowed him enough that the closing rate for Rod Minton, unable to turn that car off. Unfortunately, Chesterton Ford slid down to the apron but was able to catch a gear and drive away on it.
I'm sure he'll probably send some money in the mail to Minton after that save there. So great job on their part as we stay green. No caution on the track.
Yeah, Kevin Stone fans, unfortunately, he's still sitting down there nursing that damage. I imagine he had probably 8 to 10 minutes of damage after racking the car. We saw the nose of the car rolling down the racetrack. So it's just severe damage for the number 17 here tonight. He's going to be pretty much an also ran with the standings now.
Yeah, unfortunate point there for, unfortunate situation there for Kevin. Trying to get us back live. As King leads Mike Kelly right now by 0.6 of a second right now. And got some good battles throughout here. Let's go back here to Stony Benfield, 23rd position. He's just getting passed by Mitten there in that 92 car. There is Eric Arnold to 31, David Comstock to 13. David, well, spiritually was at the race last night at the Darlington Raceway, but did not run in the race. As Kevin, I think this is one of your friends here because we got a guy named BK Corner that is in our YouTube page, and he's got a bug on his screen.
That was me using the wrong account. I just want to say howdy to everybody over there on YouTube land. Let us know what you think of the race.
Wait a minute, so Kevin England has burner accounts now too?
I own a YouTube channel for my beekeeping operation.
Oh, that makes sense. Beekeeping Corner. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, make sure you check out the podcast, by the way. I won't say any bad jokes about creating a buzz. Oh, damn it. Dadgummit. Kidding. No, I appreciate everybody, though, for... go check out his podcast. I'm sure he'll appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody watching us and podcast and all that stuff, so... Anyhow, 28 laps complete. As I think we're going to take a quick minute here. Let's step away, because I'm not sure what we're looking at pit strategy. We'll talk about that when we come back at more. As you're watching the NC811 Cup Series here from Rockingham Speedway on the Captain Esports Network.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
All right, back we are here at The Rock. As we are 29 laps in, as Kevin King has led them all. He's got 0.7 of a second on Mike Kelly. Justin Fuller third, Mark Jorgensen fourth, and Wesley Donaldson there in the top 5. Let's jump back here, 12th position, Kev, because there is a fight on our hands here. As Kevin DeBrown, Scott Simley, the sideways Bobby Wetzel throwing up smoke as he battles with Jose Medina.
Yeah, this is where the cars start to tell you that they're going to be a little bit even. If you run them too hard on those cold tires, you burn some of the traction off. And when you get here to about lap 30, this is where the guys are saying, okay, first stint ran too hard.
Yeah.
Now I can use a set of fresh tires, and I promise I'll be better next time. But right now, some of these drivers are just holding on, waiting to see if there's going to be a caution and or whether they should duck in early and get a set of fresh Goodyears for these.
Which brings me to the question. When do you do so, Mr. Kev? Because 160 laps, you could probably get close to lap 80, if not exactly lap 80 before you pit. Do you go ahead and split this race into 3 and go at lap 50?
I think you're really measuring that two ways. One, how much have you dropped off? Are you coming forward? Two, what's everybody else doing? If everybody's going in, getting fresh tires, and just driving flat out around you, then you really can't afford to lose that much. So I think monkey see, monkey do here at this racetrack. I don't know, some drivers, they know that they came off of turn 2, slid the car sideways, burned the right rear off or something. We just saw that happen. Joe Brown off of turn 2. It's hard to say here.
I'm going to be on team, and I'm not usually here. Usually I'm team like lap 70, lap 80 in this case. I think lap 50 might be the way to go here. With the way tire wear is, we're losing about a second to about a second and a half or so on lap time right now with these cars. I think you get them to pit road, you get the fresh tires on, and especially if you cannot make it to lap 80, because at that point, you're still going to be a two-stop race. You might as well split it in half. Now, I do agree with the point of trying to, as Justin Mons comes to pit road, somebody's maybe listening to me, but, you know, again, you do something different, potentially, in this situation than maybe what the leaders do. I am on board with that strategy.
One of the things that plays into the factor is what you're seeing right now. Watch these cars come through 3 and 4. They're up in the high line. 1 and 2, up in the high line. When the tires wear, you tend to see them move from middle to high line. Turn the car down because they can't get the turn out of the corner. Tires are worn too much. So you just kind of ride the rim, so to speak. And if you can figure that out and get it sorted out, you can run pretty far and not drop off that much. But really what happens is, once you start to feel that tire wear, you've abused the tire out of turn 4, car just yaws out for you every single time. You see drivers who are slipping, sliding out of 4, I promise you they're going to go to pit road.
No, I agree 100% on that. 37 laps complete here. Is back here, Tyler Dalton, that free fall, has fallen back to the 8th position. And now he's got Mike Montesi and Charles Van Schaik battling with him 8th, 9th, and 10th. So you wonder if Tyler maybe is, I wouldn't say regretting, but maybe questioning what he did there, running his tires, trying to get around Kevin to get that lap lead bonus point. But it has hurt him, and he's fallen back to the 8th position. Mon's back on track, by the way. Must have had some damage because he had about 43 seconds stop. Patrick Colby's been on pit road, and Kevin Stone obviously with a lot of damage on that car. So you watch the 23 of Van Schaik get around the 4 here for position, and we are starting to see a battle for second shape up here as Justin Fuller is starting to catch the driver in the 2, Mike Kelly.
Yeah, Mike Kelly having a pretty quiet and conservative run, as you said on the outset. Last couple of weeks not been very kind to him. This is the type of racetrack. If it runs green, he knows how to manage this all the way through. And, you know, I think all season long during winter season, they were not kind to Mike Kelly because he was putting it to him all the way through. And I had to wonder whether that was going to carry into the Cup season here. And so far, I think from a consistency standpoint, when you run in the top 5, like
Caution.
Mike is doing, you're going to get a bunch of wins on the season, Chris.
We got caution on the speedway, lap 40. Forget the whole strategy we just talked about. Coleman and Wetzel. Uh-oh. Bobby Wetzel has lost his entire front end on that 9 car. And I see Chad Coleman's name also on the list. Chad, I don't see really anything on his car yet.
I think just about the whole field.
Oh, they're all coming
They're
here.
happy to see this.
Feeding time at the zoo.
Someone like Tyler Dalton, who ran hard trying to get those bonus points for leading a lap, I think he gets to reset it here. Yeah, Bobby Wetzel.
Oh, yeah.
As we were talking about it, if you run the car hard, you're going to have difficulties up out of the corner every once in a while. It just does what it wants to do. We saw it firsthand there with the number 9.
So caution out for the first time as pit stops. Everybody in. We'll come back and show the replay again here in a second. But I want to definitely keep track and see. I don't think we're going to see any kind of tire strategy here. I mean, Wetzel stays out, but I think that's more to keep him going a lap down potentially. As race off pit road, Kevin King, Mike Kelly going to be second. Stenzel stays out. Wonder if that's to keep him on the lead lap potentially too. Okay, so you got the lucky dog. Okay, so Kevin King, Mike Kelly, Justin Fuller.
Kevin King for so long.
Gonzalez design.
Stay down.
Well, he was just a caution, so he might have been just getting back around to stay on the lead lap potentially there. So, yeah, they're on pit road right now. So that's how that all shapes out. Let's go back and show the wreck one more again. As riding with Chad Coleman here, is he's going to kind of get blindsided here. You see Wetzel up there getting loose, overcorrects into the outside wall, tries to get down, and just unfortunately not far enough. Well, this is going to make this race interesting because now you have 120 laps to go, and I think this becomes an easy one-stopper. Just pit at lap, what, 100 or so, and go the 60 laps to the fuel to the finish of this race. So well, it's funny. I get a message from Atomic Burrito in chat here. He was actually answering my question about the fuel mileage earlier, but of course that answer now is null and void. But thank you for letting me know they were planning on going to lap 80 if there was no caution. So
I think my notes show that if you really stretch it, you might get to the 90s, believe it or not.
Wow.
93 lap, maybe.
On this tank, that's kind of interesting because you get 20 gallons.
In the trucks and some of the other ones, you can actually get that far.
Wow. I was just thinking with all the, well, I guess you get a lot of off throttle time, especially going into the corner. So I guess I could see that.
There was a lengthy communication from race administration there during that. I'm not sure what that was about. Didn't quite catch it, but
I know they've been kind of. I don't want to use the word tightening down, but one thing they are doing now is they're marking people causing accidents in chat, and I think they've got like a committee that they've started up per an announcement from Joey Jatina this week. So a lot of guys are, it's pretty much all of us going down into a channel and watching, and we're like, yep, that's that guy's fault. Yep, that's that guy's fault. Yep, that's Kevin's fault that, you know, he didn't turn his microphone on. No, I'm just kidding. But it's kind of thing like that. As we go back green at lap 44. I was told last night I need to fire my producer again, by the way. Uh-oh.
Fuller jumps to second.
You know, is this a lesson if you're somebody who burned your tires off in that first run to maybe back it off a little bit here so you have tires to run? What would you assume to go all 60 laps here before you come back to pit road and go the last 60? Or do you try to go to lap 120, which is that 80 lap mark, or 125? I mean, I think there's some questions here you can be answered. I think you're going to see people do both.
To the outside of King, turn number 3, then go to the door through the banking. Fuller, I'm guessing, wants to be out front and get a little clean air on the nose of the Chevrolet he's racing as he pulls across the stripe, and it's going to be Fuller leading the lap. Look at Jose Gonzalez right there behind him.
Jose looking good as Fuller clears for the lead. Mike Kelly and King almost come together. That, yikes. That's called clearing yourself.
I like Gonzalez for the long run. The track position is got right there. If you do get a long run, I would expect to see him be a player.
Oh, Ron Holyfield off track. My guess is he's cutting the grass over here in the front stretch, and he is. Because that's the only off track you can really have at the Rock is over in that grass. And he carries on. So, up break there for the 11 is at least he'll keep it off the wall and keep her burning. As Kelly's moved up to second now. So, King's starting to, I think he's trying to back it off here a little bit. Maybe save the tires, which nothing wrong with that if that's exactly what he's doing.
King leading 47 laps so far with Fuller taking the helm. And Fuller stretching it out a little bit. He's got about 6-8 car lengths. He's not backed out of it by any stretch as King backing up to Jose Gonzalez right on the back bumper. Gonzalez might peek down to the left, but I think right now he's content to ride in the tire tracks of KK.
As Gonzalez battles almost some 3 wide here. Back here at 14th position, Medina, Rivera, Eric Arnold. As they battle here side by side, Arnold sees that little gap in the middle. He's like, should I shoot the middle? I'm trying to answer that, and hopefully Eric hears me. Don't do it right now. So, later in the race.
Coleman, outside, he's like, hold on to it, Mike. I've already been roughed up once here tonight.
Yeah, Chad, 16th
Mike,
position.
under the weather, talking to him, he sounds like.
Is he down a cylinder?
Michael.
Oh boy, down a cylinder. That is never good. As long as he doesn't blow a motor in the middle of the race, because that's a cleanup you've got to wait on later.
Yeah, he sounds absolutely awful when he's in here putting it to it tonight. Sometimes you just get in the zone and takes your distraction off of not feeling well.
Yeah, no kidding. Bully Dog Coffee Company checking in, and I think throwing a little teaser out there that he might have himself a sponsor, or a car to sponsor. I know a couple of these off the top of my head. I'm not one that goes out loud in public and says things like a couple things you could sponsor, but he does hang out in chat, so I'm like, why not? Throw it out there a little bit. A little hanging fruit.
I think a surprise for me is the 84, the Talking Giants, car of Anthony Calhoun. 3 top 5s of the season, having an outstanding year so far with 1 win under his belt. He's back there in the 18th position and not making any headway back there, just kind of riding right now. And I think maybe that's tactically save the tires, live to fight another day, but he just got tagged in the back by the 77 of Ferrari the third, and now he's loose down on the apron. Wow. That was a handful.
And Joey Jattina up the middle. Here comes Beasley thinking about it. Everybody's got to get their wits together here, but good catch there by Calantoni. Yeah, last night at Darlington, he had a halfway decent run. He must not be a fan of these kind of shorter, worn-out surface tracks, because he was on the old struggle bus last night. And I even had to give him some Darlington advice.
He needs to move up out of that bumpy area down there.
Well, his tires are probably screaming at him, too, right now.
Yeah. Well, he's the kind of guy, I bet is like pumping the throttle coming up out of the corner, and that is not this. That is not doable.
So 56 laps complete as Fuller leads. Kevin King has fallen back to the 3rd position. Gonzalez is still there with him. Well, is Van Schaik. Van Walls it off of turn 4. And that allows Arnold to his inside. The good news, though, these cars very durable.
There's quite a bit of side-by-side racing, man. You run so hard. Is a tap to the 25 of Nick Jobs. Gets him sideways.
Oh, look at this.
Into him.
Josh Parker back there with him. That's a bad angle, Jobs. I was going to say, that is usually never good when you enter like that. But you know what? Looking at this photo.
You get loose off the corner, you could see he had to chase it down to the apron.
Yeah, poor
no
Chip.
air on the spoiler with the 81 up underneath the back bumper.
I'm just saying this, looking at the photo of Jobs here on the SDK app, he's one guy I'm not going to want to meet in an alley.
Yeah.
He got a big boy there. It's got Jobs on his car. I don't know.
Got it straightened out. Off he goes again as the 43 of Joe Hudson loops off of turn 4. Boy, I tell you, these guys, every lap you look over there and you go, here, they saved it.
Let's say, I was trying to see what was on Jobs' car real quick. It's Jobs' Wealth Strategy. So you want to learn to save some money, he sounds like the guy to talk to. And Scheik off the pace back here.
Drivers, they come to a place like this, Chris, and maybe the new guys that I won't pick on them. Ron Alessa running back there in 32nd. May love this track or may wonder what the heck this is all about. Because a lot of drivers like us, old school OG people, we love this track. We love the character of this type of racetrack. And some of these guys, they really handle races here.
This is one of my favorite tracks. Yeah, I love the Rock. I love this track. It is one that it takes a technique. Now, I've had my plenty of shares of being wrecked by people here because I back off the corner really early and let the car get into the corner and then get back to the corner and let it roll. But I also have that respect of knowing that this track will race anywhere. It used to be for a while, you stuck it right on that yellow line, you don't move off of it. But now with the refresh that has come into play, you see the cars pretty much running from the bottom to the top, which is the traditional Rockingham track that we used to love back when it was ran in the NASCAR Cup Series and even in the Xfinity Series at the time. I mean, they always used to put on great shows here. And it just sinks that apparently this market, I don't know if it's a market of people that are penny pinchers or if it's a market that the tickets are too high priced at this track, or if it's just one of people would rather sit at home. But the attendance numbers at the Rock in the later years, especially when the Truck Series came back here with ARCA and stuff during those years, were atrocious. And that's the reason why you basically do not see a race here at the Rock. Now, they've done the repave to it here recently, and maybe there's a chance that we come back. But, you know, I think there has to be a lot of changes at this track when it comes to finding a way to get the fans here.
You know, there was always commentary back in the day about saturation of so many races here. North Wilkesboro,
Yeah.
this place is, I see Mark Jorgensen at 6. He's up against the wall on entry of turn number 1 there, but he's soldiering on. Yeah, there was a lot of conversation about just how competitive the marketplace was for all these tracks in the North Carolina, South Carolina region.
Yeah.
But I think in the context of North Wilkesboro, we learned to bring it back here. I think they would fill the place.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And another thing you have to look at, too, we had this conversation on the podcast, the Scalacast, last week. The comparison of NASCAR tickets versus IndyCar tickets. Now, let's eliminate the thermal race this weekend. But, you know, I can go to a 4-day race at Long Beach, per se, and get general admission tickets, and I'm spending $110 a person. 4 days. That is the Cup race at the bottom row at Michigan for one person, maybe. The prices are just night and day, and I think that hurts the element also. But Atomic Burrito said here in chat that he said the February Cup date was a rough one, and he said give the All-Star race to this track, put North Wilkesboro on the points, and here's where I disagree with that. North Wilkesboro only has room for so many people. And you go to the All-Star race that was at Texas or Charlotte, as they go around Kevin DeBrown here, as we show the battle between Eric Arnold and Giles here. The All-Star race at Texas would get roughly 50,000 people, 40, 50,000 people. Hold on, Jurgensen, he's in the wall. Got very loose there, mid-corner, 3 and 4. Keeps it up against the boards.
Kevin Brown got into that left rear quarter panel.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I was on board. It looked like he got loose. And I see smoke up ahead now, as Kevin DeBrown is sideways and in the wall. Right, oh, and he gets tagged by Friary.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to wreck. Now there's debris on the track. And finally the yellow comes out.
Yeah, you could see that building out of turn 4 into turn 1, then 2, then down the backstretch. And
I don't see a wrecked car anywhere.
it could be literally that debris you were talking about that came off the 93 on the backstretch to the racetrack.
So caution out for something. It might be our good friend Jock, or you know what? Mark Jorgensen here jumped to the pits. I wonder, could it have something to do with this? Tough break there for the 88. Let's see where he is on track here. Oh yeah, he's parked around the back straightaway there on the inside lane and toes back to the pits. That's probably your caution.
Maybe broke the toe lane.
Maybe.
We were talking about you slapped that right rear or something against the wall. It's easy. Yeah, get to stop over there.
So that's probably your caution, unfortunately. So he probably meant no harm, but unfortunately brings the caution out here. But let's go back and show all this mess. Well, first let's go to pit road here. And while they come down pit road real quickly to finish what I was saying to chat, you had Texas and those guys had room for 50,000 people, no problem. The problem with North Wilkesboro is 50,000 people is about the max you're going to get in that track and into Grand with camper parking and so on and so forth. So with the size of that capacity right now, until you're able to build more room if you can with the way the infrastructure and stuff is there. By the way, Eric Arnold has stayed out, so has Rod Mitten and Nick Jobs. With the way that is all set up, it eliminates, I think, any possibility to having a cup race full time there because of you just cannot get the people in there. Now, the Rock, I think, if you had grandstands, could fit enough people. That's the main reason why North Wilkesboro gets the All-Star race right now, is because you can fit what would normally be an average All-Star race crowd into North Wilkesboro, and it looks like a packed house.
Well, they put all that money into North Wilkesboro to rehabilitate it, and I suspect that you'll see truck races, you'll see Xfinity races, and you'll see a surprise cup race there. As Eric Arnold did not go to pit road, is he going to stay out here?
Uh-oh. Do we have our first cotton?
Yeah.
All right, let's step away real quick. We'll reset here and get ready to go green. Lap number 73 in the books. We're near halfway here at the Rock as you're watching Sim500 on the Captain Esports Network.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, back we are at the Rock. 73 laps in the books. Eric Arnold, Rod Mitten, and those two have stayed out on older tires here of 30 laps. They are going to restart. And this is a good safety reminder that when you spin the tires at any track, mostly, including here at the Rock, your car's likely going to the right. So we got to watch for tire spin here. But Cotton, what do you think of this one?
The 29 took 2 tires. That's what I think.
A good call.
The 2 of them, if they can clear these 2, it'll be quite interesting to see whether these guys will have what they want for this. This is Fro with Peril.
You wonder if Kevin thought that maybe Moore would do 2 tires?
Could be. They watched Cal and Tony get the win with that, and everybody has it in the bank. And we saw Kevin do it last week, and I think he took 2 tires. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm seeing only a 6-second stop. Maybe fuel only. That's a chance. But you know what? 6 seconds? Yeah, that's fuel only, actually. So we'll see how this works out. Is up. There goes Rod.
And off he went.
He goes spinning. More cars jammed up.
Kevin did not do well.
Tyler Dalton is sideways in the middle of the track.
Sideways.
Yep. Tyler Dalton. Unfortunately.
It's interesting because you had to know those 2 were not going to go. But I think for King and Fuller, they wanted to make sure that somebody got out front. King's going to drop back to what, 7th?
Yeah,
Depends on when the yellow came through.
Looks like he and Dalton going to get the worst of this. Let's watch the restart here. Yeah, it's going to start up here with Rod Mitten. Unfortunately, going to get all kinds of sideways here.
He took that hard left-hand turn and he wasn't the pace car.
Well, he went right, like I told you. And you know what? King got hit by Gonzalez pretty good. And did Tyler just get it sideways there?
I wonder if Tyler went down to the apron and crossing the bridge there. Now, the third one good hit right.
I don't know. But I know 29 might, 26 might. They got damaged. But yeah, 92 as expected. Spun of tires went right. And unfortunately, Kevin King was there and tried to get out of it. But unfortunately, he sent the PlayStation packing. Gonzalez gets that damage. Oh, no. Okay, Tyler got clipped by Kelly.
I think he was also trying to make an evasive move so he didn't run over Kevin King. And speaking of Kevin King, he's going to give up all that track position. Rolls down pit road, and I think he is going to put 4 tires on it this time.
Yeah, he probably got some damage there on that nose to fix. So,
with 6 seconds, there's no way that he took tires last time. I watched him drop in, and he was there for, I guess, just enough to fuel the thing up. I was just looking to see how he beat the 51 off of pit road.
Well, and
And
it's
I knew
simple. When you're
it was
fuel only
tire.
and everybody's 4 tires, that'll answer that question real quick. But, yeah, looks like
There's
Josh.
some of these racetracks, Chris, that you can actually run quicker with worn tires. I don't know. That defies logic. As
I
you
would
think about
think
it, but
the Rock is not one of them.
I don't either.
Josh Parker getting a wave around there. Now, I can understand a fresh repave because obviously you got a hard tire, so it doesn't wear. But I don't know. Not
You know what? I have to say, for 41 cars starting this race to be only at, third caution here, that's pretty. I don't want to jinx us here, but we got 34 cars on the lead lap. Joe Hudson's 1 lap down, looking for 1 more caution to put him back in the mix. Justin Mons, Mark Jorgensen, Kevin Stone, Bobby Wetzel, Patrick Colby, those 4 have had trouble with, I don't know if Justin just hit the pit cycle wrong or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, he's had a couple of long pit stops, so I don't know if he's got that issue or if he's got damage on the car here. Let's look at this 41 car. I don't see anything wrong with it right now.
Yeah. Looked pretty good to me.
Yeah. But 2 laps from the halfway point here. 2 races this week, and that is it for the Captain Esports Network. And then there ain't no streams for a week. And, I mean, I might do some fun stuff on the side, but otherwise I'm going to enjoy the Easter week, the rest of the week off. And work's been tiring, and, getting through the first little sector of racing here has been a lot of fun. I appreciate all the viewers. I know tonight's count actually is a little bit lower than usual, but I do appreciate the 15 to 25 roughly consistent viewers a night, which that is something I don't think I've ever seen on this channel. So I'm very thankful for that. And, I hope you guys keep coming back and keep bringing more people to the stream, more subscribers. We're going to hit 1,100 here probably by the end of the month. And, obviously Sim500's at full throttle now. And we'll take the week off and come back at Daytona for the Sunday night Xfinity Series presented by 811. And then for the Cup guys, we actually have the makeup race from Homestead that was supposed to be ran earlier this season. And there's still no telling. That might not happen still because they're still not using the word still 4 times in one sentence, but they're waiting on a fix to the Homestead race. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. As we come back to the green at lap 79, Eric Arnold, good restart this time. On the top side there, remember they have to start in the Geico restart zone. As Fuller, Linda Ronstadt, blow by you. Check up here. Giles gets in the back of Arnold. It's actually Blue by You, by the way, was the song, not Blow by You.
Yeah. And I think this is where he's going to regret that decision. Is he's stuck in the high lane. You're just going to zoom by him left, right, left, right, left, right, or left, left, left.
One thing he needs to do right now is just hold his lane. Do not make himself unpredictable. He knows he's going to get shuffled here, so leave it open and leave it right there on the top side. Let the cars go around you. It's just like road racing. When you're a GT3 car running against GTPs and stuff like that, it is the faster car's job to pass you. As I noticed some nose damage on Mr. Simley's number 12. That splitter down there was kind of caved up a little bit.
I tell you, now it's tedious. When you get past that half lane, everybody runs a little bit harder. They've had 2 or 3 stints on the tires. They know what the car is going to get. They can squeeze a little more performance out of it. You see drivers like Kevin King driving from out in the back. He's alongside Callan Tony running behind the 13 of Comstock. You know what kind of hornet's nest that is. Boy, I tell you, there's a sideways car out of turn 4 or out of turn 2.
Jobs, hold on, my man. He was split between Kevin Brown and Tyler Dalton, and he come off turn 2 and had that thing slideways. Oh man, good save on his, good investment on his part to save that car. If we're going to speak wealth with him.
I think he's a driver having a quiet night, but a decent night is the 10. Richard Beasley is in 13th right now, peeking underneath the 24 of Medina, trying to see if he can sneak away that position from the bottom line. And I have to say, right in front of him, he's held in there tough as the 31 of Eric Arnold dropped to 11th, but kind of is running right in that pace by himself right now in clean air. So there goes one spinning off a bumper on the back straightaway, turning sideways, locks it down.
Stoney
Benfield.
The faster pastor goes around, and the caution comes back out.
Pretty sure he got a little bit of help there.
We were watching the battle there as Kevin King and those guys were trying to get through the field, and unfortunately the outlier nc811.org, it's like the second or third time I've seen outlier on somebody's car, goes around here, turn 2 on the back straightaway, and believe it or not, I don't think Stoney hit a thing.
He just locked him down. The interesting part of this, we said it in the outset, Chris, 4 tires to start, with this being the 4th caution. You have to wonder who has extra tires hanging on for the end. And I do believe with extra tires, as Eric Arnold goes to pit road, he had to have saved himself some. That could play to the advantage later tonight.
I mean, I like what Eric's doing strategy-wise here. I think it's bold, very bold. I like the aggressiveness to his. Kevin King's back on pit road too. I think I'm waiting though before I actually do come to pit road though, because that was only a like 4 or 5 lap run. As Stoney Benfield actually got loose on his own.
4 tires and fuel for the 31, so we know he's burned a set there.
Yeah, Stoney got loose up there top side. It kind of juked to the left there, and he was able to split Scott Simley and Chad Coleman as bringing out the caution here at the Rock. As yeah, some cars on pit road here. Mike Kelly, Van Schaik, Rod Alasso, amongst others here.
Yeah, 4 tires and fuel for Kevin King. Again, could have put him deep in the field. Back in the 20s, I think, from that.
Let's talk about some big movers here.
For him. This could be the end for him, and he's going to use that set while he's got him.
Yeah, I think you're... Well, I don't know about... Well... That, or does he still have some damage to be fixed on his car?
Yeah, I don't know that he stuck around to get any damage fixed, so I think he's probably clear on that part. But at some point you decide, well, that's it for me. I'm going to go get my tires and I'll be done. When everybody else pits, I'm going to leapfrog them from track position, and I know with tires X, Y, and Z old, I could probably hold them off from the track position. So, I don't know. We'll see.
That's a tough ask, though. I'd have to say 70... You're probably going to go green 70 laps on a set of tires to hold them off the rest of the race. I mean, yeah, if this race goes green, 100%, I understand this strategy. But at this rate right now, just at the pattern that the race is going right now, I can't necessarily agree that we're not going to see 2-3 more cautions maybe before the end of this race. And if that happens, then I wouldn't be burning my set of tires.
Works to your favor, does it not, Chris? Because you're riding around under caution with worn tires, but you have the track position, right?
Well, I mean, I see your point there, but it's like you got Eric Arnold who just tried the same move, and his tires were not even like, what, 20, 30, 40 laps old?
Yeah. And
he just got the doors blown off him.
I don't know, but you got to give a tip of the cap to Justin Fuller. He's got that thing wound up, man.
Now,
I'll tell you, he's booked on this racetrack. He's got Jose Gonzalez inside of him, and last week's winner, Brian Macklin, up 26 from his starting spot. Yeah, I don't know. Wesley Donaldson's right there, too. We have not talked about him tonight, and he's now put himself in the mix, running in the top 5.
Now, I will add this in there, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but Kevin King is a former Coke driver, where Eric Arnold, obviously is still working on his, talents and stuff like that as he's a young cat, so you could easily argue, well, Kevin's better than Eric or whatever, and that's not the point of this. The point of that is, look, you put somebody on old tires on iRacing in a fixed setup, good luck holding on. At the Rock especially. That's just my opinion.
Fuller out front to the back straightaway. He's got the 26 looking underneath Macklin for second. They're side by side in a drag race into turn number 3 with Wesley Donaldson looking on. Good run on the outside for Macklin. He's going to draw ahead, but he's not going to clear him, and now he does going into turn number 1 with Justin Fuller leading the way.
You see the rear camera we're looking at from Macklin? Do you see something here on Jose's front end? I see damage from something. Oh, Glenn Campbell.
Sideways on the backstretch.
Tyler Dalton, Glenn Campbell. Oh, Dalton's got clobbered.
King got killed in that.
And Kevin King involved. Oh, no. Nick Jobs with damaged. Glenn Campbell's front end is completely ripped off.
Maybe the 70s. No, it was Glenn Campbell got sideways and collected a bunch of cars on the way down. King's car is destroyed.
Kevin's not going to be a happy camper. Another race he feels like he could have won, and the bad luck just continues to hit him.
Did he get the apron here?
No. He was about a half groove up, just lost the back end, overcorrected right into Kevin. Tyler Dalton with a T-bone steak. And then, who's that? Is that Beasley that kind of tail whipped Dalton down into the wall? Only 3 cars involved, but there's a couple cars in here that are saying their prayers after getting through this one. Check out, let's go on board here with Mike Kelly, the Daytona winner, as he got a good view here. Mike had to split her 3 wide or else he's getting involved, if not 4 wide. Kelly, the newly minted Sim500 Hall of Famer, as he got loose off it too. So this might just split skis come through. And then, of course, there's the 92 right to his outside.
Yeah, well done by Kapanik there on the outside. Just held his line, moved up, saw what he needed to do to give Kelly the space. Good hands for Mitten there.
Very good point there. There's more cars on pit road here. Let's look at this again from the far chase, or the crash cam as I call it. And Randy Yoakum to his outside there.
I think that's going to stick for King. He's not. His car is so damaged here.
And Tyler took a blunt shot there. Kevin more that left front again. He might actually, if he doesn't have engine damage.
When his car went down, if you go and look at it on the straightaway, the front end was dragging. The
was it?
were coming out. The nose came off. Yeah, that car. It took a pretty good punch. Bolton's going to get away, but King's down there licking his wounds.
Unfortunate deal there, bringing out the caution. But lap 94, as we're here at the Rock again for the series next week. We're off, but we do appreciate all the viewers, and let's be the first to say Happy Easter to all those viewers that have been here for us every Sunday and Monday night. Appreciate you guys, and looking forward to seeing you guys on the other side. And I haven't had a chance really to mention this yet. I did make the announcement in all the Discords. If you are a science person, coming up on April 8th, of course, we have the race that night at Homestead, but that afternoon, of course, that is the day of the solar eclipse. And I happen to have been lucky enough to say, hey, I am actually in an area that has totality at one point. So, where we are, I'm actually going to stream the solar eclipse as it goes over this area. So, if you're one that is in an area that you're not, unfortunately, going to be a part of this, I want to be as nice of a person as I can and invite you to join me as we watch it, and give you the best vantage point you're going to get for, unfortunately, the next 20 years or so before another one gets here in 2044. So I'll have it right here on YouTube, streaming out there for everyone to watch. And if you want to come join us and you're a science person or whatever and you think it's kind of cool to see, well, I'll do everything I can to let you see it. So
I have a friend who runs a sensor company for beekeeping.
Okay.
And he's sending sensors out to beekeepers on the line of totality so that they can record the before and after, because the bees get really confused when it goes dark in the middle of the day. They're going to collect all the data from that.
That's interesting.
If we had a hive, we'd send you one.
I don't, and I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near one.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there to watch, Chris. That sounds like a really cool thing. As we get ready for the pace car to turn left, and it does, turns the field over. to Justin Fuller and Brian Macklin. They're going to stop on head to turn one.
Jose didn't go.
These restarts are really
Oh,
tough.
they were almost 4 wide in turn 1, Kevin. Here comes Arnold shooting at topside on Jatina back here. Oh, 3 wide off 2. This never works. They basically made it work. Ron also clipped the wall, but everybody else is okay.
Yeah, tedious times running close quarters. Cars really loose here on cold tires. Everybody kind of trying to mind their P's and Q's as the 31 of Arnold makes that charge to the outside.
Mike Kelly diving it in there. Thought about 3 wide, backed out of it. Keep them at 2 wide. 2 wide is, whoa, one car digging down here at the bottom. Stoney Benfield. Got loose there off of 2 again, but able to keep her straight. But yeah, these cars, I mean, their racing's really starting to pick up now.
We're going to have to tell Tony that the black part is the racetrack. he's used every inch of this place. Down there waving at the people alongside the backstretch wall.
Which is the old pit road, by the way. Back in the, up until like the 90s, late 90s, Rockingham used to have split pit roads. Fuller, fastest lap of the race is now 24:14, so he's picking up the ante as he's pulled away to a half a second on Brian Macklin with 61 laps to go now.
How about the Virginia 811.com Camaro? Randy Yoakum up there running in 11th position as the 4 of Montesi.
Saw that. There are cars everywhere. Medina up against the wall, getting squeezed up there by Stenzel.
Yeah, Randy Yoakum cracking the top 10 here as we get into the 100.
Montesi about hip checked Calantoni up into the wall. Calantoni had him kind of squeezed down there, so it was one of those, you're going to squeeze me, you're going to get hit.
But you just don't know where to look because there's action in every inch of this racetrack as Justin Fuller is pulling away a little bit from Brian Macklin. Half a second lead right now for the 51 and just counting the laps down as we are rocking and rolling to the finish here. Fuller seems to be in command of this race.
Look who's in 4th. Cody Giles. Mr. Just consistency all season long, as he's easily been the best rookie in the field here so far this season, and sits right behind Wesley Donaldson, 4th position. That Ancient World Gaming group doing a fantastic job in the 5 this season. He's gone by Gonzalez, which I was pointing it out right before that caution come out there. Either Gonzalez has got some nose damage or just he's got the wrong paint scheme on his car. You know what? I think it is that, but it just looks like his nose was kind of cracked a little bit there on that right side, or left side, whatever side that is.
Well, they updated the paint scheme this year with updates from iRacing. His car is a little out of whack, but one thing to point out, if Giles can seal the deal here, Kevin King dropped down to 34th. Kevin came in with 14 markers over Giles in the point standings, and yes, it's super early, and maybe it's not a good time to talk about it, but after that, we could see a rookie leading the point standings coming out of Rockingham.
We've seen that a lot, especially on the Xfinity side. Matter of fact, up until last night, when both of them had a rough race, we had 2 rookies running 1-2 in the points in the Xfinity series on Sunday nights, but both Miles and the 5 of Braxton DeWeese both had issues last night at Darlington, and now Mac McMillan has jumped back to the top of the point standings in that series on Sunday nights. But by the way, if you're interested, they are taking registrations for drivers on Sunday night in the B car. So if you want to look into racing at Sim500, I suggest you check out Sim500.com. And you better bring your A game every week, because you see it every week. These guys, they race. And they race every night of the week. And they race in almost every car you can think of that's on an oval. And they put on a pretty good show. So make sure you check out Sim500.com if you want to get signed up and be a part of the fun with these guys. And then you can have a race called potentially by me and Kev.
60 laps ago, we saw trouble with the first caution where the 9 got into the number 38. And how about this recovery for Chad Coleman? Worked his way back into the top 10, currently running 8th. This is the type of track that a veteran like Coleman will exceed. He's 22 points, or 22 positions up from where he started, and making hay here as he got off to a rough start, but has gathered back all that track position and looking out in front of his windshield. The number 2 of Mike Kelly, also good recovery for him, driving from deep within the field. Is, yeah, this is starting to wind down. These laps click off pretty quickly here, Chris.
We mentioned Chad Coleman being the Iron Man, of course, of the series. This is start number 235 on the Cup side alone in the series. And, of course, he's trying to break that winless streak. Last win coming at Talladega 2022. So it's been almost 2 years since the Iron Man has been in victory lane. And need I say, though, that when it comes to all together in Sim 500, tonight is start number, timing with the load, it's not loading, 1,100 and still stalling. I'm totally, like, I know the first 2 numbers, I just don't remember the last 2. It just takes a minute for it to load. So I'll come back to that and tell you exactly Chad Coleman's number starts. For some reason, the Sim Racer Hub website doesn't get along sometimes with the Sim500 website. I'm not sure if it's a coding issue or whatnot. But look at David Comstock as he has worked his way up into the battle for the top 10. Eric Arnold is there now with the fresher tires. So is Calantoni, amongst others.
Yeah, Comstock could use a good finish here. He's had a rough season so far. He's made his way into the top 10 in points. The other end of the spectrum is Josh Parker. Josh up 6 positions to 6 in the point. Right now, his car is absolutely killed. He's running back there in 30th and waiting for them to drop the checkered flag so he can get out of this North Carolina tar hole, because he did not.
Oh, caution right in front here, Kev. Sorry, it's Brian Macklin has spun from the 2nd position.
He's done.
And he said, I'm out. Brings it to pit road and is going to call it a night here in that 30 car. So unfortunately, not 2 in a row for the 30. And I should say he actually was not running 2nd. It looks like he had fallen back a couple positions.
I think he just flat out clipped the apron.
Or he was running 2nd, and he just D-died-o'd off the corner. He was running 2nd. Oh, and Giles got him and just finishes him.
That's going to take, broadcaster curse. I was just saying, all Giles had to do is hang in where he was. What did I do?
Well, let's just hope he doesn't have as much nose damage there after that contact. As leader's back on pit road, and here's where I told you earlier, you don't want to burn that set of tires. Because everybody's coming back, and we do got some cars sitting, are going to stay out there. Yeah, Macklin gets loose, and then Giles just nowhere to go, and punt!
Tag, you're it.
So about half the field coming to pit road here. Fuller, Donaldson, Giles, Rivera, Calantoni, Jatina, and then pretty much the rest of the field coming in. And that's going to hand the lead to the Miami Dolphins mobile.
I think this is where you're going to see some of these drivers maybe take 2, keep that track position.
Maybe, yeah. You could see that. But, well, you know what? I think I'm going 4 here only because you had a lot of cars stay out. Don't tell Richard Beasley that, who went with either fuel only or tires. A 7-second stop there. Everybody else pretty much 14 seconds.
Yeah, Donaldson and Fuller, the top 2 there, running 4 tires and fuel for both of them.
I believe Kevin King took the lucky dog here. And it's going to be back on the lead lap. So to answer the question, by the way, 1,208 starts for Chad Coleman now officially through all the series. So congratulations to him on that. Of course, it's E.J. O'Rourke, 1,048. Next person to get to 1,000 will be Scott Simley at 968 right now. So he's got about 32 more starts before he will hit the 1K category and be the 3rd to do so.
Pretty interesting race so far. A lot of different twists and turns, which is why we're trying to figure out, how it's going to end. We never really know. So far, the dominant car has been Justin Fuller, but now he's deep in the pack, and we've seen that spell some trouble for some others, and hopefully that's not going to be the case for him. He's going to restart back at outside of the dozen mark. I think he's currently 13th or 14th on the scoring monitor.
Trying to see. I don't see Jose in chat. I'm going to bring him up here, talk to him here for a second, but looks like he is in another channel or something like that. But pace car going to come in. You see a little bit of right front damage on the 26. I see front end damage on the 12. You got Eric Arnold here third with Mike Kelly fourth. So you've got the front two cars pitted at lap 71. Arnold, Kelly, Medina at 86, Jimmy Coleman at 71, Mitten at 86, DeBrown at 86, Montesi at 71 is 9th. You've got Van Schaik and Benfield at 86, Holyfield at 92, and then the rest at 113 just now under this caution. So Justin Fuller restarting in the 13th position here with 44 laps to go. I think it's about to get nuts.
Plenty of time. He just needs to be careful on this restart that somebody doesn't get him in trouble. And then once things stretch out, you just knock them off one at a time. Is that Kevin DeBrown coming up now? How the heck did he recover to be in here?
I'm scared of the breaking points right now with the different strategies. You're going to have people trying to send it and people trying to back off, and this is where usually you get calamity. But I don't know to answer your question, honestly.
Single file out for the first 8 or 9, then double file forward and snaps as they cross the start-finish line out back. It's going to be Jose Gonzalez squirting out to the lead. He's got almost a second lead over the field as he's drawn away pretty closely. Sideways goes around Holyfield as Wesley Donaldson going to sneak past him for that 13th position. And it is go time. I think these guys are going to be on the charge here. Nothing to give. They need the track position to get themselves in the right spot, Chris, for the end of this race.
And this is where it gets tough because you got to balance out the tire saving because you don't want to blow the tires away, but you want to be able to go at the same time and get yourself in position to get the best finish possible. And by the way, should we not call it a hornet's nest with you in here? Should it be called a bee's nest?
Yeah, bee's nest.
Okay, just check. I mean, that's different critters, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Good time and effort.
That's too much. Oh, 4 wide into one, and King gets into Beasley, and they crash. There's debris on the track, and no caution yet. Everybody's straight still.
How the heck is that not a caution? That was a huge hit by the WBD diecast. Toyota Beasley. He just absolutely slammed the wall into turn number 1.
4 wide gone wrong in turn 1. I told you you couldn't do 3 wide. Let's try 4. Replay that real
Started
quick.
with the 75 getting loose.
Yeah.
King talks about Beasley trying to beat him. Well, he beat him all right.
That's a good point. I forgot about
Right
that.
on the right quarter, right on the left door.
The rivalry. I forgot about
Right
that.
through him there.
I mean, no, they're 5 wide. Forget 4.
Yeah.
Stenzel gets back. Rod Alasso was having a great run. Jatina gets some damage. Oh, that's a great point, Kev. I totally forgot the rivalry. And it's all in like a joke, apparently. Kevin DeBrown's got issues.
Again, you just look out the window and anywhere you want to see, you see smoke like a barbecue.
I think Kevin blinked out. That's a whole different issue.
Don't look down, but here comes the 2 of Mike Kelly. He's against the outside wall trying to dig to see if he can get to the outside of the 26, pull him back. As Kelly is rim riding, here comes Fuller on the bottom. He's going to go side by side with him as they cross the stripe. Fuller's got a pocket.
Yeah, well, he's got fresh tires, too. He's got the 4 goods right now as he pitted at 113. And to second he goes, and he's going to move up here and probably get the lead here shortly.
He's got a 2-word phrase for these guys, 99. He's going to get out front and just drive right off with this thing. He looks unstoppable.
Eric Arnold to 31, trying to get by Simley for 4th.
Pass for the lead, 51. Underneath, no contest. drives under Gonzalez in turn 1, and he is leading by the time they get to the back straightaway, and he's gone.
So Justin Fuller to the front.
Play some Top Gun music. He just launched past the con.
35 laps to go here still, though. Plenty of racing. We watch back here, Giles, after that center punch, you can see the nose damage on that 5. Kevin King right here with him, was a lap down, got multiple times been involved in accidents, and yet he's up to 14th trying to pull the comeback kid here tonight. I mean, he gets another caution. This could get interesting.
Again, you look at Giles, back to 12th, King coming forward. A couple laps ago, you would have thought this was stick a knife in him. Man, I'll tell you, what a change.
You beat me to it. I was going to say, somebody in this room here said that he was done. Stick a fork in him.
Well, sometimes it calls him just follow your way.
Yeah, no kidding on that. That's Van Schaik and Wesley battle for 9th and 10th.
Hard, but looks a little loose and fast. That car, he needs to be careful to keep himself underneath and not get too excited, as slip sliding away will wreck your race really quickly. Drives deep into corner 1, uses the banking here at the Rock, and out of turn number 2 he comes to second. Give Mike Kelly the position, and don't look now, but who's sitting behind Jose Gonzalez?
Eric Arnold.
How about that run for the 30?
Doing a great job here, and one thing we hadn't even touched on is caution is out. Caution, and it's Kevin King and Cody Giles. And King just high-sided himself on he rolled backwards.
I didn't do that one.
Roll backwards, Kev. There you go. Caution comes out, and Kevin is probably not a happy camper. Let's see the replay here. I was about to say this track actually has 2 different bankings. And not necessarily on the same corner. The turn 1 area of the track is 24 degrees of banking. Turn 3 and 4, 22 degrees of banking. Let's see what happens. Giles running right behind Van Schaik. You got Calantoni to his inside here. Bam gets into the back of the 23, and then I don't know if he got helped out or something, but Kevin just nowhere to go.
Mike Kelly to pit road along with the 26.
A lot of cars coming in.
He's up second and third.
Let me get a crash cam view of this real quickly. He had Chad to his inside there. Down the back straightaway here. Gets into the back of the 23, and then Kevin gets in the back of the 5, and then Joachim gets in the back of the 29. A chain reaction.
I think there was a touch of a stack up there that just slowed the 5 down. He made sure he didn't run over the car in front of him going in after everybody. I have to wonder, the car in front of him maybe got into the wall. Some
Maybe,
going down the back.
We can look real quick again here. Let's take a peek here. The car in front of him was the 23 of Van Schaik.
Maybe ever so slightly dragged the wall coming out.
When he had a car in front of him too. I mean, you got a whole line of cars here, but let's see. No, he didn't.
Yeah, Kevin, just a little too much Johnny Hustle there.
All right. Well. So,
yeah, who knew?
This race just flipped again, and the guys that did not pit for tires earlier now have the tires to work with here with less than 30 to go. So, now, this is, I guess, a chance. You know what? Let's bring up the guy. This is probably going to be the broadcaster's jinx. Here it comes. But let's bring up the guy down here that has looked pretty sporty here tonight at the Rock, and that's Eric Arnold in the 31 car. Eric, you've looked pretty sporty there. You've gone off strategy a couple times, and so far it's kind of paid off. But this might be the toughest move of them all as you pit with a bunch of guys, have fresh tires now and 28 to go.
Yeah, I think I got something for him. Mike's pretty fast. I think I'm a little bit faster. I hope we have enough time to catch Fuller here. He's pretty quick, too.
Any kind of groove you specifically would like to have here for this ending? You want to get to the top, to the bottom? Where are we looking at?
I want that top, man. I'm loving it up there.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, you got probably about 15 lap fresher tires here to work with, and looks like you're going to be starting up there where you want, and you got Mr. Gonzalez there in front of you, so best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As Eric Arnold restarting here, P12, Kev, and let's get him back to his Chanel.
I think he's loving it. Where's it going? I'll put it in.
I got it. I just had to find it. There's so many new channels in here. I was going to tell Arnold to be patient, but like he's going to listen to me. I mean, I don't even listen to me.
Look at the 22 sitting there.
Nelson Rivera. Mm-hmm.
He's had an interesting enough running fourth on the outside.
And both that rows, third, matter of fact, third, fourth, and sixth. Wesley Donaldson, Anthony Calatoni, Randy Yoakum. A little bit of stack up there as we go green.
It's just been a surprise as I sit here and reflect on what we've said tonight. We've called just about everybody somewhere in the top five. All the shakeups we've had with different...
Oh, Montesi is blinking out right in front of Dalton.
The car looked really damaged, but then he came back, didn't he?
It looked like it spontaneously combusted when he came back. Keeping an eye on the tires back here. First person on new tires, Jose Gonzalez up to the 9th position. Arnold, is he going to split the middle here?
He's got the power.
Oh, Kelly's getting loose. And still loose, and he's going to get hit. Hasn't gotten hit yet. He's still going. No caution.
Now he's the one begging for a caution.
I mean, how he locked it down and nobody clobbered him is impressive.
I have to say, Tony's cars looked nervous all night tonight. I have to wonder if he just needs to be careful to make sure he's got good turn in, smooth turn out, not doing anything herky-jerky to get that car sideways. I don't know, his car looked a little skittish to me, but right now I'm putting the bumper to the 22, shoving him down the back straightaway looking for that second position.
Tony trying to find wherever he can go. Chad Coleman right there with him. The 8 of Randy Yoakum having a great run tonight as Calatoni drops down. Can he complete the pass into 1 and 2 here?
Yeah, correction, he's going for third. No, where did he come from? Look who's running second there.
Wesley, yeah. Looking good. Problem is the people coming from behind here.
Yeah, Donaldson's back mired in 39th in points, so he needs this kind of run.
Oh.
Went sideways around on the grass down on the front straightaway here. Catch who it was. I just saw a car.
I think it was Van Schaik. Because the 23's off the pace here in 1, so it might have been Van Schaik, but I didn't catch it.
Down there on the apron in turn 3.
Oh, no. There's the broadcast. I told you it was coming.
He slammed another car and ended up getting bounced as Kevin King to his outside now, trying to make hay.
Now, if you're Eric, you don't want to make a situation worse. Just get what you can get now. 21 laps to go, still plenty of time.
I'll tell you, these guys are now up on the wheel. When we saw before, everybody was just trying to find their
Wesley in the outside one, spinning. Coleman gets hit.
Oh, no.
Caution comes out.
More cars involved. This
Rodolasso damaged as Coleman is, well, rolling in the back.
Rolling. Yeah, he's just... Who did that? Kyle Busch this week?
Kyle's done it a few times.
Kyle Busch. Can't buy a break this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, Wesley is that struggle bus unfortunately continues, and Randy Yoakum gets clipped by the 38. Now, yeah, Rodolasso with a monster of a hit, if you will.
There's no place to go. Those that know, the rear wheels came off the ground as he made the contact, and you see just Chad Coleman sitting in there shaking his head as the car slides around backwards.
Let's get the Wesley
Did
here.
Wesley get a little hump, maybe?
That's what I'm going to go look at here real quickly as we ride with the 91. He's all by himself out here. Gets on the bumps, gets loose, overcorrects it, tries to correct it, and then just finally it gives away and then goes spinning right in front of Coleman.
Well, we talked about these guys are up on the wheel trying to get every inch of the racetrack, and bet the 91 in his season continues to be a struggle. He's able to drive out of it. I don't believe he got that much damage from it, unlike the 38 who tore the nose off the front of the car. But
All right, let's go back earlier here. Mike Kelly, what happened to the 2 car? He gets free in the middle of the corner. Trying to save it, locks it out. I thought he was going to get clobbered right there. Nobody hits him.
unbelievable.
That's wow.
I tell you, you just cannot underestimate. Maybe we go inside of a car, even as they ride around under caution and go through 3 and 4 on the bottom end. You see the bumps down there. If you pick up the throttle and try to just slam through it, it's unbelievable how much. Right about the 22 is up, down, up, down, up, down, all the way through there.
We'll show you from Doug Sigmund here and let you see it because we're going into the corner right now. So yeah, I mean, in this corner it's sweeping. So you go in and right about the scoreboard here, you start hitting bumps. Right about where he is here. You'll start, I mean, you can kind of see it right here. There's a bump, there's a bump, there's a bump, there's a bump. I mean, your car porpoises right there.
Well, if I'm Justin Fuller, I don't think I'm too upset with this. I got a fast car, I'm out front. I don't have to race at the moment. I could save the tires that I didn't change. Riding around here under caution. This is the action we were talking about earlier in the race. You know, this last 20 laps, it sometimes goes like this where you have a bunch of cautions, and even if you have fresh tires, you really don't find the time because you're under caution to drive through. Where if you have the track position like Fuller does, you can kind of hold everything at bay. We'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to be careful here, Chris, because we've like broadcast or cursed about half these guys tonight.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens there. 16 to go. This time should get 1 to go. We'll go green with 15 laps to go. Fuller going to take the high side here. And the reason why I think he's doing this, I could be wrong, is he is going to be able to get the restart on the top side there in 1, or going into 1 and 2. The first car on fresh tires is in the 5th position, the fresher tires, and that's Jose Gonzalez. So he's going to pin him back behind 2 cars, and he still has the restart jump on the outside lane. So it's almost like putting that extra row back there to the inside.
Well, stack them up. Here we go again. It's going to be Fuller, Rivera, Joachim Calantoni, and Comstock, bringing us back with Jose Gonzalez, who has fresh tires sitting there in 6. Scott Simley quietly running in 7. Coleman, Kevin King back in the top 8. Top 10 here. Robert Fryery, the 30. He's had an interesting night. He's running the 77 and 10th in this restart.
Here we go. Green flag back out as Randy Oakham spins the tires. He gets across the line before anybody really can pass him, so should not be any penalties as we're 3 wide in a whole bunch of places. Oh, car getting loose up here ahead. I think that was Rivera. Good save. Run away. That's what they're thinking right now.
The car against the outside wall, puff of smoke, off that wiper corner metal, stay green. Everybody continues to charge. 2 cars come together, one sideways, and
there they go. Joe Hudson and a big wreck here. Jatina, Job, Stony Benfield. Yep.
Yeah, this is going to collect a pile of them.
Actually, just about 5 cars. Medina, everybody got checked up.
Yeah, they're running on top of each other. It's pretty hard to stay out of that mix when you're in the center of the pack. There's really no place to go.
What happens to the...
There's the car that got against the outside wall I was talking about.
43 gets loose down into Jose. Arnold gets clipped. And then they find a way to magnetically hit each other again.
It was like a do-si-do down the back.
Mike Kelly, wow, how he got through that.
Sigmund got a part of that.
Coleman probably said on radio that there's a parking lot in 3.
And his car's toast. That right front's broken, as you can see, and he couldn't even hardly steer it.
Where is Michael Kelly?
Just a byproduct of racing hard.
There he is.
Getting to the end, you're going to keep your foot in it.
Let's watch this. First contact. There's the second contact. Kelly gets in the back of Van Schaik a little bit here. Wrecking right in front of you. Wrecking coming through. Wow.
What's even more impressive, when you're in the car and you're tight to the back bumper of the car in front of you, you're seeing nothing but spoiler. You can just see maybe through the center. Go in the cockpit and watch the view. It really isn't that telling. Oh, you see a puff of smoke and you figure out how to back out of it, but
Beasley
you might
to the
say,
list.
did the 43 lose it? But sometimes you have that car alongside of you with the side draft, takes the air off the back spoiler, the car gets a little light coming out of the corner, and you know, for all intent and purposes, you might just be along for the ride.
You mentioned going on board. Let's ride by Kelly. He goes into turn 1.
He's tucked in here behind Van Schaik. They come off the corner. He's flat to him, can't see anything. Saw a car go left, saw a car go right or left or right and left. Then, oh, I think I'll go right. Yeah.
Grab a gear and move on.
Do it, Cole.
Pretty much.
That's the music. I'm out of here. Turning left, good off the corner. Good off the corner, a little loose. Yeah, you could just see it. And he's just along for the ride. There's really not much you can do once the car starts sliding.
And Joe running the Norfolk Southern choo-choo train car. Which is funny because I actually delivered to the Norfolk Southern guys in Fort Wayne here. They're over on my route. Big bunch of train tracks over there. All right, about to get
one of my favorite trains when I was a kid.
I do remember those, yeah.
Yeah. Santa Fe, Norfolk Southern. See, these cars look like modifieds out here tonight.
Well, the problem is we still got 10 more laps to make them modifieds. As we come to the green, we're going to hit 9 laps to go. Justin Fuller looking to get another win here as he's all of a sudden picking up steam in the momentum column here the last couple of weeks. But Anthony Calantoni there looking to maybe steal another win. David Comstock is snuck up in here. Kevin King is up into the top 6 here as we go green.
I would not have expected King to have a car as fast as it is.
Right.
Able to hang there in the top 5.
And here he comes with a run through 1 and 2 onto the back straightaway. And he
Got one around back there. It's the 96 of Gerald Livingston into the back church wall on the inside.
caution comes out and Kevin lost. Something happened to Kevin. Because he was like right on the back of 5th place. And I don't know if somebody got loose or what, but he backed out of it or something. I'll have to look here in a second. But what happened to Gerald as he goes around, brings out the caution.
I think actually he backed the back of the 26.
Gerald got the outside wall, it looks like, and gets turned or something. Not sure if he turned. We'll have to go to the crash cam and
Might have blew it up and somebody got into the back bumper as he was trying to gather it up.
Kevin makes a great move up there. You can see him cross to the bottom on Comstock and has a run off the corner. And yeah, Livingston gets the wall, and Ron Holyfield sitting there in his back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. All right, so Kevin King, let's go up here real quickly. It's a great restart here.
Turned the car down out of turn 2 and got to the back bumper of the 26, and the car just took a yaw almost. The 26 got sideways.
Oh yeah, wow.
I think he went to cut left to go underneath him, and the car stepped down.
Yeah, that's going to cost him 5th now to, looks like 4th and 5th. Because obviously Comstock held him off. Kelly got around him. So in the end, that actually hurt the 29.
Similar. Looks like.
Or, I'm sorry, similar. Yes, thank you.
In my head, trying to track all this. This has been a crazy race.
You know what it is? King got such a momentum, so much of a momentum on Gonzalez that I think the way he hit him, it just turned his car sideways. And how Gonzalez's car didn't move. Kind of interesting. I mean, he punted him. Well, 5 laps to go here.
Justin Fuller. You know, he led 82 laps before picking up the lead here at lap number 126. Now we're working 155, and you know, he's led more laps than everybody else combined here tonight. And right now, sitting pretty. Every time we get these restarts, he jumps out to 2, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, and he's on cruise control and clean air out front. I think it's going to be pretty tough to wrestle it away from him, but who knows? Maybe one of these restarts, somebody will punch a ticket and get right there with him.
Yeah, we should see, as Fuller's led the most laps tonight, and I mean, I talked about earlier him maybe becoming the hottest driver on the circuit. I mean, last night at Darlington had a top 5 car, looked like he was going to go to victory lane, and unfortunately fell below short, finished 3rd in that race. He won at Dover on Sunday night in the Xfinity Series there. Won the week before in that race, and has picked up 2 or 3 wins here the last few weeks in the series.
How you driver is looking to try and have a decent night, make something out of nothing is the 19 of Tyler Dalton. We've seen how active his night has been. He still somehow finds himself in the top 10 in the late going here. They were talking in the practice about how tough these cars are. Well, Tyler's car has taken a beating, and he's still soldiering on here to see if he can get himself a top 5.
All right, getting ready to come to the green with 4 laps to go.
We're going to be first-time winner, or are we going to have Callum Toney get 2 in the early season?
Hey, they always say the hardest one to get's the first. As Fuller gets into, in this case, the 2 white lines as the restart box, not the Geico restart zone. As Fuller gets in there and launches. Back to green here. Can we get back to the final lap? Callantoni, good run off too, but Fuller carries that momentum off. Callantoni gets way loose. As cars scare. Wow. Comstock up to 2nd. Kevin King to 3rd.
This 29-13 battle is going to be rather interesting here to bring it home.
Kevin King's got fresher tires. He pitted at lap 130. And you wonder if he can make the tires work here. King up to 2nd.
He wins this, and we're going to have to give him a super.
Oh, they're wrecking off 4. Big wreck. Somebody's hit the tire barriers. The Van Schaik's car is destroyed.
Green-white checker territory here.
Look at that thing.
Wow.
And Cody Giles, I think, involved in another wreck. I looked up and I saw on my timing and scoring everybody's position shuffling, which usually is the cue to me that they're wrecking. Let's see where this starts. Oh, right there, the 4 gets into the 92. Oh, jeez. Oh, and he gets T-boned. Oh,
Wow, what a crash. Incredible.
oh, man.
You know, the funny thing is when you're in the sim and you're riding in the car, you hit like that, you feel almost the
feel
same
like
way.
you get
I've
hit,
never
yeah.
been in a crash, but the surprise of the velocity and impact is equally as real when you don't expect it to happen. Front end.
Hey, look at the left front. It's sitting over here. Holy.
I think the lubricant stayed there.
All right, so look at this. So on pit road here, see what the left front tire is? It's right above the name here of Van Schaik. Watch where his left front ends up after this hit. Let alone the right front's already snapped off, pretty much. So left front's over here where this says Ford Performance, over in this area. It's over here underneath the cowl or whatever it is.
Wow.
He might feel that one tomorrow.
That's a highlight reel, that one.
That might find its way into my in my intros. Just gonna put that out there. Hey, while we got a caution real quick, I haven't had a chance to do this in a couple weeks. I know last week they didn't get this done, unfortunately, in time, but we'll do one here, and then maybe I'll get one before the end of the race. We'll see here. But Justin Fuller, who's the leader, has actually been stepping up and doing some highlights on people who have been in the series, and he actually worked out Wesley Donaldson. Let's talk about him for a second. Of course, Wesley quickly becoming one of the most improved drivers year after year at Sim500. Has quickly changed from a mid-pack racer to consistently finishing inside the top 10. And contending for wins no matter what series he is racing in. He's only made 39 starts, and that was going into last week, so it's actually his 40th Cup start. And averages a 13.9 starting position, 15.6 in the finishing order. He's run 5,018 laps going into this last race, and basically has led 19 laps. And now, of course, he has that win at Atlanta. He's got 8 top 5s and 15 top 10s. And, of course, runs the WBD diecast crew. But Wesley, of course, when the merge happened with GOAT, came over with Charles and has stepped up a lot. He does a lot of adminning now, of course, in the series and so much. So big shout out to Wesley. Wanted to get that out there as they try to feature on some of the drivers. Now, Wesley, unfortunately, tonight, 34th position. So that 39th in points is going to continue to hinder him. But the only thing you can do to break that streak in this situation is just keep trying. That's all you can do is keep going. And maybe it's one of those things for Wes. He just sits back and says, you know what? Let's just go and get a top 20 tonight, or a top 15, and just, I don't want to say not put any effort in it, but more just kind of don't do things that you would normally do if you have to. So this is overtime, by the way. One of 2 overtimes you will see here, as we're at 163 laps. So we'll 2 laps to go this time by. King up there against the door of Fuller. 2 of the more knowledgeable drivers here that are going to try all the tricks, I'm thinking, on each other here. See if Fuller launches late or early. Does about middle there as he launches, gets a good start on King. Dalton going to try to get to the outside. Both of these guys, by the way, have fresher tires. The 19 also. Here comes Comstock. Well, if there's any saving those tires, if you're Fuller, you're on them now.
Charges to the outside. He wants a podium here tonight. Kevin King trying to see if he can run him down. I think Fuller's got quite an advantage here. Will we get back to the white flag? We do. 1 car around, and the Comstock tags the 4, and it's a multi-car melee in turn number 1.
Big crash. Calantoni involved. And Cody Giles also the points, or what would be the points leader. But Kevin King has come back and said, no, I want that points lead. And I want the win at the Rock. Fuller slides up the track. Here comes King to the bottom. And it will not be enough. Justin Fuller holds off King by 4 100ths and wins. And there's still a junkyard in turn one.
Some of these drivers on the backstretch trying to get back to the start-finish line.
Yeah.
Fuller, King, and Dalton are your top three here. What a finish. What a run for Kevin King. He almost got him there.
He did. He come very close, but Fuller did just enough on that restart to get out there. And I mentioned the knowledge that Fuller has. And I think that's what helped him make that jump on that restart and get out there and win this race.
Yeah, 122 laps led by my stats. I don't know if that's exactly perfect, but it doesn't matter. It tells you out of 166 run, 122 is a dominant night for the number 51 of Justin Fuller, and just had him covered all night long. Right strategy, right runs, took good care of his car, got out to clean air, and here he is in victory lane at the Rockingham Speedway.
And for Justin Fuller, that is win number 13 in the Cup Series and 158 starts. Congratulations again to him in going to victory lane here tonight in that Units Camry. As he celebrates, let's go back to the last lap there and show you the mayhem that finished it up tonight. Sure, there will be some upset drivers and whatnot, but hey, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles here.
Yeah, Fuller, he did try and give it away there. He went into turn 1 and 2 so hard trying to cover Kevin King, got up into the outside wall, bounced off the wall. King really kept him honest with a run as 26 and the 13 got together there.
On the straightaway,
and then it was just bedlam behind them.
See if we can get you a better, here we go. Comstock gets a little free there off turn 2, side by side with Tyler Dalton. You see Jimmy Coleman getting into the picture there. There's 26 of Gonzalez. Comstock gets a little bit free off of 4, and then that's where the contact happens. He comes back up into the 26, and mayhem happens, as you mentioned, into turn 1. I mean, Rivera, Wortman gets damaged, Friery, Glenn Campbell gets damaged. You mentioned a 5 of Giles. What looked like was going to be a great night for him, unfortunately, ends
26. What a role reversal. King comes back to second and Giles gets 26. That both here on the outside ended up with the top 5.
Great job on his part. Good comeback. You see that's where Comstock gets loose. And I'm thinking he's overcorrecting there, but I could be wrong. Ooh, Montesi with a lick there. Mons gets through there. You see the 25 of Jobs gets through. They get 12th and 13th place finishes. Let's
Beasley ended up 8th. Parker.
Wow.
6th.
Wow.
Unbelievable for Josh Parker. How the heck did he do that?
Where is
And how about that run for Jimmy Coleman finishing 4th? Did we even talk about him tonight?
I don't think we said his name one bit. He started in the back too.
Yeah.
On board with Comstock. Not sure if I think he might have clipped Dalton there. He's trying to save it. And I'm not sure if he had her saved there or not. It's very tough to call there. He had the wheel kind of straight there. But, yeah, that's a tough one. Unfortunately, just coming to the finish line, trying to get to the end of the race here. But let's take a look at the final results here as Fuller parks it in victory lane here tonight as he wins it by 4 100ths over Kevin King, Tyler Dalton 3rd, Jimmy Coleman, and Eric Arnold ends up 5th with Josh Parker 6th, Scott Simley 7th, Richard Beasley 8th, Mike Kelly 9th, Chad Coleman comes back to 10th, Matt Rodolasso 11th, Nick Jobs 12th, Justin Mons 13th, Glenn Campbell 14th, and Gerald Livingston ends up with a top 15 finish. And looking at the rest of the finishing order, 16th to Jose Gonzalez, Joe Hudson 17th, Cal Antoni 18th, Comstock 19th, Ron Holyfield 20th, Wortman 21st, Joey Jatina 22nd, Nelson Rivera 23rd, Mike Montesi 24th, Randy Yoakum 25th, Friary the 3rd 26th, Cody Giles I got 27th. Unfortunately, that might change. Of course, all this unofficial. Rod Benton 28th, Doug Sigmund 29th, Jose Medina 30th, Van Schaik, Stenzel, Benefield, Donaldson, Kevin Stone, and the rest of the guys here: Kevin DeBrown, Brian Macklin, Mark Jorgensen, Bobby Wetzel, Patrick Colby, Joey Stone. The rest of the 41 cars in this race. So, man, that was a wild one. Rock doing rock things.
I was anticipating that.
And been corrected, by the way, by Mr. Atomic Burrito. Wesley was never a GOAT guy, apparently. He was a Sim500 guy who took a break for a while. So, appreciate him helping me with that. That was well, it was just about time I was coming in here was when the merge happened, I think, if I remember correctly. But either way, let's talk to some drivers here. We'll start with the third place finisher here, Tyler Dalton, as Tyler comes back from a couple of issues there tonight. Seemed like a lot of people had issues here tonight, but had to fight back, and you did so. Congratulations to you on your third place finish, Tyler.
Yeah, at certain points of that race, you told me I was going to finish third and had a chance for the win. I told you you were absolutely crazy. Just a little bit of lack of respect out there from some guys, and I don't know, it was a shame. This race could have went green and not been many issues, but I'm happy to get third. Wish the race was a little bit cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I had a chance to maybe get Fuller for the win there at the end. I had new tires, and then going into one on the restart, I'm not sure the broadcast called it. There's massive net code between me and Kevin King, and it shot me up the track. So I got third, but man, like everything that could go wrong tonight did, and I somehow finished third. So I guess I can't complain too much. But I had Fuller in my sights there.
Yeah, as I'm looking at the numbers here, I mean, last season, one caution, tonight a few more. But needless to say, still a crazy race the way it worked out. I know we did see a little bit. I couldn't tell if it was netcode or not, but I know you guys were side by side going into the corner there when Fuller got the jump there and got out to the front. But seemed like, I mean, especially early in the race when I was watching, you know, you obviously got to start. You got up there to the outside of King for the lead, and then was it just your tires started falling off?
I got him too high. I was trying to go up there and lead a lap, and Kevin was pinning me up against a wall, not let me turn into turn 3, and it just got the tires too hot. And once I cooled him down, it came back to me, and I was starting to run everybody back down again, running about the same as the top guys. Mm-hmm. Then when we got back through the field, I had that craziness happen with guys with damage staying out on 35 lap old tires, and I checked up for it. Guys behind me, I guess, thought otherwise, and I think Simley got hit into me, and I don't know. That's a shame that the way that had to go there, but to come back, I mean, I had like a minute and 40 seconds of damage between all the wrecks, actually probably over 2, because from the second wreck. So to come back and get third is nothing short of a miracle.
We'll let you give your shout outs, and then I'll throw a little stat at you.
Yeah, I just want to thank NC 811, great sponsor of the series. Got South Carolina 811 here on the car. Make sure you call before you dig. Also, want to thank Trend Service Logistics, WBD Diecast, you for putting on the broadcast, all my teammates down there in the Sim500 Mafia.
Great job tonight, Tyler. And Kev, as I know you're going to talk to the other Kev here. The first 3 races combined here at the Rock saw 11 cautions. Tonight we had 11 cautions.
Yeah.
We'll leave you with that one.
It was mental.
Yeah. As, you got Kevin King here, but Kev, I got to share real quickly before I let Kevin take over here for you. Mr. Beasley said you're his in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he tried to wreck me tonight and completely missed. So I told him I can teach him how to do that properly next time. But yeah, I don't think he knows kind of what's around him. He kind of drives off his hood pins, so I don't think he realized what situation he was in to give room. So it's unfortunate. We'll teach him.
Go ahead.
I don't believe that Mr. Beasley likes Kevin's because I ran him over last week in a race and he was yelling at me there too. So, yeah, maybe it rubs off on him. Whenever he sees a Kevin, he starts to panic. But how about it? Panic? You did not panic tonight. How did you come back from the hits and the bangs and the crashes you took to get it second? And darn, if you went into turn one there at the end and Fuller went up against the wall, I think you saw an opportunity there and you almost got him at the start finish line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too happy how I drove. To be honest with you, I felt like I was driving really, really well to start. I had a really good pace, really good gap. I was just kind of biding my time, and then of course the yellows come out for whatever reason, and then it turns into just a tire gamble. And I felt like that second stint where I knew he was just burning his stuff off, and I was just kind of cruising around. He was coming back to me like 2/10 a lap. Then another yellow came out, and that's when the tire gamble started to happen, and just turned it into people staying out, spinning their tires, killing my car, and then I think someone else spun out in front of me, came up and killed my car even worse. So that was fun. I think I got into Cody. I have to go look at that. It seemed like there was a checkup into three I wasn't expecting, and I might have barely tapped him and caused that. So if that was my fault, that's my bad. But I think after the second wreck, when I felt like I was at least getting back on strategy or what I was trying to do to overcome, the Mickey Mouse tire thing, was actually going to work in my favor. And then once I got wrecked on the backstretch, I kind of just lost my mind in terms of just trying to take it easy. And I just was making really aggressive moves. I'm sure some guys aren't happy about it, but like it's to the point where I've done so many races now and I'm at the mercy of everyone else around me. And I just decided at this point that I was no longer going to be the person waiting for other people to wreck me. And I was just going to go out there and see what I could do. To get second was pretty, it's cool, but at the same time, I know if everything just falls in line and the race just goes normal, I wouldn't be in second, in my opinion. I felt like based on pace, it was myself and Wesley. Actually, he was probably a little bit faster than me that first run, so it's definitely frustrating. I'll take second, but man, I just wish we could just go green without these weird little tire gamble things where it just kind of flip flops. Because whatever I do, or the people in the lead do, guys in the back are going to do opposite, and eventually you're just going to have a switch, or people are going to start going hard and waiting for yellows. It's not really racing. It's just kind of like racing to the next yellow and seeing what happens. It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is that strategy element of it. You try to do what the others don't. You're always a victim of that when you're out front. Led the first 47, and at some point, Giles was in the top five, and you were back in, I think, 30th. And the flip flop for that is just astonishing to me that you came through. We were, I think you'll hear us say, we stuck a fork in you, but perseverance paid off. Second place finish. You were at his door coming across the start finish line, and get a week off. Everybody can kind of calm their jets and come back here and get back into the groove. And you had the pace here tonight. I would think it would have been interesting, Kevin, to see you and Fuller and Donaldson and some of the others head to head with long green flag runs. You know how this track is. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, I think I went a little too hard to start that first run, and I kind of backed it off. But I think Wesley had the right mindset to start, and he was, I think, lap per lap. If we were doing, solid laps, if I was hitting my line, he was about a tenth and a half better. Which at 4 seconds was still going to be a little bit to catch up at some point. But I felt like he was doing really well. The other two, I think it was Mike and Justin, were both falling off. But yeah, the last lap thing, he kind of just threw it in there, and I thought I was like, oh, he's definitely going to destroy the fence. But I think if you throw it in there hard enough, which I totally forgot about, it like bounces your car off and it sets you up for exit.
If you
So
right in the center, right?
yeah, so I kind of forgot about that until I was like, I saw him go in because I was going in deeper. I felt like I had really good brakes on the car, and I saw him just send it in there. I was like, okay, he just completely missed the corner, and then he like bounced off and was still going fast. I was like, oh, okay, he did the bouncing off the wall thing, so that was neat. And then he completely missed the corner again in three. So yeah, if I had a couple more laps, I felt like I had a good shot. I was probably gonna have to wreck him. He doesn't like me passing him, so I definitely was probably gonna have to wreck him, or something to hit him or something like that to get hit by him. So I think at that point I was kind of done being super aggressive, you know. But yeah, it's just it's frustrating. I don't even know which next track is. It's hard for me to like get pumped up when I feel like no matter what's gonna happen, you're just waiting for something to just completely flip the race upside down. Whether it's leading Vegas with like 2 laps to go and some dude randomly spins by himself, or um, wherever else. I don't know what else happened. I'm just kind of over just like the weird things happening. I can't wrap my brain around like trying to figure out anticipate just stupid things happening to the point where I have to adjust my strategy or driving. It's just I can't do it yet. So it's frustrating, but again, second, it's good. I beat Beasley. I had older tires. I think that one stint when you probably thought I was done, I was super saving because I needed the lucky dog, and I came up behind Beasley and I was just knocking down his door because he's just. I don't think he knew. What Chad told me was that he didn't know which gas pedal. He didn't know if it was in the middle or the right tonight. So anytime he was out there, he was just kind of like holding up the rest of the field. So I think I just need to help Beasley kind of remap his pedals to make sure he understands which one's the right gas pedal. So, yeah, I'll talk to him. He's my good buddy. I'd like to give him hell, but I mean, he got eighth. Not bad.
Yeah, you guys had a moment there, but you know what? You're the most frustrated point leader I've ever heard. And you know how this goes,
Yeah,
Kevin.
yeah, but I don't
You'll
care
have a
about
rough stretch
points.
for
I
a
want
win, then you
wins.
rip off 7 wins.
Yeah, I think everyone's expecting me just to like win all these races, and it's not obviously that easy when stuff like this happens or whatever. Like, I'd love to be able to just put a race together and say, yeah, that was a good, solid race. But I get it; it's part of it. It's just it's something that I don't necessarily enjoy dealing with, and it never really goes my way. So it's just one of those things where I just get frustrated because it just never falls away. I think it should. But yeah, I mean, points leader is cool, but I'd like to have some wins to go with like kind of the runs I'm having. But whatever track is next, hopefully it's a fun one, and maybe I can race Beasley if I get lapped or something. I don't know. I'll be back there with him.
Next week, and if they straighten out Homestead, that's where we go. Anybody want to give a shout out to, Kevin?
Yeah, you guys. I mean, the guys. It was a tough race, but I think a lot of the guys did a really good job for the most part. I know I was a little frustrated with a few of them, but I get it. It's a definitely tough track. The car bottoms out and bumps and all these goofy things kind of doesn't make it easy. So I understand the hard driving aspect of it. So I think everyone still did a really good job, all things considered. It's tough track, and the speed gap sometimes makes it even more difficult. But you guys again for putting it on, Joey for putting up with everyone yelling at each other throughout the race because we're all super frustrated. Um, Overall, I think it was still a good race, even though I didn't benefit from it. I think we did a pretty good job considering the car, the track, and all those things combined. So I appreciate you guys.
It was an entertaining evening, and he was at the door at the start finish line. Kevin King finished the second here tonight. We'll let him go, and we'll pull up Justin Fuller, your winner tonight here at the Rock. Justin Fuller had the field covered, and Chris is going to talk to him right now.
Yeah, he had the dominant car, but he definitely had to fight there at the end. And but Justin's pretty good at doing what he has to do to make sure he's the first one across the line, and he did so tonight. Justin, great job, man. Congratulations, and man, another win. Just getting hotter and hotter, it looks like.
Yeah, we're on a good streak right now, so want to just keep knocking these wins out as they come. So, really happy to pull this one off. I didn't really think I was going to be that good tonight. Didn't really feel comfortable with the car in practice, super comfortable anyway. But once the race came alive, and I really screwed that first run up. I really burned that right rear off, and I was able to rectify that in the following runs and have a lot better long run pace. Clean air definitely helped too, though. So, I don't know. It was just a rough race at the end. I wish it was a little bit more green flag towards the end, but you guys shall have that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody has those kind of races and that kind of thing. Obviously, you guys come to pit road there at 113 for tires, and from there, obviously you keep it out there in the front. Just to talk about how much you had to kind of maintain there, keeping those tires underneath you for the last 47 laps.
Yeah, I mean that was my last set of tires, so that was my bed was made at that point. I didn't want to be put in a position to have a long run and have guys pit and then have to come through the field and have a rash of yellows. I wanted to be ahead of it, and it ended up working out in my favor tonight. I lost last week based off a tire strategy failure of my own, so it was nice to be on the better end of a tire strategy this week and not get intentionally wrecked on the last lap of a race. That was another positive part too. So, all in all, it was just a good night for us on the 51 Toyota.
Obviously, one of the things I noticed tonight, and you mentioned earlier, you kind of ran the right rear off your car in that first stint, was it seemed like there was a lot of maybe unpredictability in the car with the setup and with the way the track being so bumpy and stuff like that. Did you feel a lot of that too? Because it seemed like a lot of cars, especially exit of 2 and maybe middle of 3 and 4, were getting sideways real quickly and almost darty.
Yeah. So I used to suck here. I used to only be able to qualify, and like 5 laps into a race, I'd be in the back. I recently figured out how to get around here, but I never drove this car here, and I had to unlearn everything that I learned before because I couldn't exit low with this car for some reason off the corners, because it just bottomed out and it would just
Right.
get dead sideways. I wouldn't even be on the throttle; I would just get sideways. So I had to kind of unlearn a little bit of that and kind of relearn how to drive this car here specifically. And I'm still not a big fan of these cars. I don't like the way they drive. You would think a car with a much wider tire would have a lot more grip, but they really don't. So, um, but it is what it is. We all got to drive the same piece of
Right.
junk, I guess.
Which is interesting because turn 2, it's not really a bump per se over there. It's more of just the transition from the banking onto the back straightaway that kind of creates that bottoming out. It's kind of interesting. But hey, man,
Yeah,
congrats. Yeah.
the track flattens out really quick over there.
Right. Well, hey, 13th career Cup win. Congratulations on that and getting a victory this season on the Cup side, and send some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, thanks to Sim500 and all the admins for what they do. Thanks for you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to NC811.org for sponsoring the series. It's nice to have a good sponsor on board for the league. Thanks to Trey Edson for always keeping me looking good out here. All my teammates at Aftermath Motorsports, Unis Portable Storage. Thanks everybody that watched. I think we go to Homestead next. I'm not good at that track anymore either. I mean, I'm okay there, but I won't be very good. I don't think, not with this car. So we'll see. But looking forward to the next one. It's just nice to get the season turned around. We had a really rough start to the season, and to get it turned around these last couple weeks and leading the most last both the last 2 races is a positive aspect. And looking forward to keeping this momentum rolling across all the leagues here or all the series.
Absolutely, man. Great job tonight. Well earned.
Thanks. Have a good
Yes,
one.
sir. You too. Justin Fuller, the winner tonight. And a big shout out to him, by the way, for putting these posts up on these drivers and stuff. It's really cool to see. We'll save this next one here for the next race at Homestead, or we'll see what happens here, because obviously the Homestead race was pushed back because there's issues with the setup and stuff with the track. So we'll see what happens with that. Something could change, obviously, between now and that race, which is coming up on April 8th, that Monday night, which was supposed to be an off week, but obviously they filled it in with a race because that is the night of the national title game and also the eclipse and so many different things going on that day. Somebody in this channel gets older. Just a lot of different things going on. So either way, Kev, man, what a wild one here. I mentioned a second ago, there were 11 cautions the first 3 races here at the Rock, and tonight we had 11 cautions.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings. It was an exciting race. It was certainly full of a lot of drama, but sometimes a little drama is a little too much. I think I would have liked to have seen, especially this racetrack, the homage of it. I would have liked to have seen long green flag runs and see who could manage the tires and do some of that stuff. And I have to agree with Kevin on that point. But yet, it didn't disappoint. We saw some pretty spectacular moments tonight. And, well, we're going to earn this break. And enjoy Easter, everybody, and we'll see you at Homestead.
Absolutely. As I look in the chat from the Facebook side, those on YouTube might not be seeing this, but there's a little chat going on amongst Kevin King, Kevin Brown, Richard Beasley. Beasley said Kevin is bad. Unfortunately, there are like 15 Kevins in this league, including Kevin next to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all know common sense which Kevin he's talking about, but
Not
still, you
talking
can
about me.
leave the joke open to say, which Kevin are you speaking of there, guy? I mean, it's like Christopher Bell yesterday wrecking all the Kyles in the race. So now you got the whole issue with all the Kevins, apparently. So, anyways, yeah. So next week we are off. I have one more broadcast Wednesday if you want to come join us for that. I won't tell you the league name, but it's a race at Martinsville. So I might need some drinks or something. But anyways, looking forward to that race coming up Wednesday night. Got the Scalicast podcast that's going to be released here tomorrow. Gonna start editing on that here before I go to bed, and then working on a podcast guest. And if it works out, this league will be very interested potentially in that guest. I'm just gonna put that out there. So we'll see how that all works out. And otherwise, we will see you on Wednesday here on the channel. The next Sim500 race will be a week from Sunday at Daytona for the Sim500 NC811.org Xfinity Series at Daytona. As that series only has 8 races left before we get to the playoffs, so it is quickly coming upon us. So enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and always remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.